Steve.
Hello, Franz.
You are not impressed.
Right, so today we're going to talk about... wow, I just popped the thing. Right, we're going to talk about today the Game of Thrones finale. That's all we're going to talk about, pretty much. So we might go on a tangent to a couple of things relating to it, but it's mostly just that. So spoilers.
Yeah,
And a lot of bitching.
yeah, massive spoilers.
Massive spoilers. So please watch the finale before listening to this. And
So, should we just go through the episode? Like, from the start to the end?
if we have to...
And just complain about it?
If we have to. I'm not going to lie. So, on the internet today, I've seen loads of complaints and loads of bad reviews. I've not read them, not watched them, but I've seen just that apparently it's bad.
See, I hadn't seen anything
Yeah.
before watching it. I was quite lucky, actually. I managed to keep away from all the spoilers. Didn't even know kind of what was going on at all. But boy, I don't know how to describe it. I was in for a shock. I was in for a shock.
The ending was never gonna be good. Not after the season they've made now.
I disagree. I think they could have made it really good.
I mean, for all of the threads they've made, all the plot points they've had, and a bunch that they've killed in the previous episodes, it was never going to be the finale we wanted.
No. Well, I tell you what, I would have been happy with just a really... And I know this is kind of anti-Game of Thrones, like old school Game of Thrones, but like I would have really loved just a basic... Jon ends up being on the throne, and Sansa, Queen in the North, and basically like everything else pretty much the same, but like everything just... I feel like this episode has been... they've subverted expectation for the sake of it.
Yeah. Like, it was never set up for Bran to be king.
Yeah, there was like memes about it, like, oh lol, what if he did? And then it's just kind of shit.
Yeah.
What I said just when we found out that happened was Bran and Sam should have gone off and recorded History in the Citadel, and like that would have been fine. Jon King, Arya can do whatever she's doing, that's fine. And Sansa can do whatever she's doing, that's fine. And I mean, the only good thing about Jon's story in this episode is that he got to see his wolf again.
Yeah.
Ghost.
Yeah.
But then
like,
with him going back to the Night's Watch, I mean, technically he died, so he got out of it. But the Night's Watch, as they said, is a life sentence. So why did Sam get out of it? Why is he now, I'm guessing, Maester of Winterfell?
Well, I think... No, I think that was just because Jon got captured by the Unsullied. I think that's why. I think that...
But the
that
Night's
was...
Watch is always until death. And Jon died,
I mean,
so he got out of the Night's Watch. But Sam's never died, he just kind of walked off.
I think it's just
well,
because it's over
technically,
now.
Sam was going to be a maester anyway, so I suppose you could, in theory, say that
He got away with it
and was able to do that.
I suppose when you're friends with the new king, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, perhaps he is still part of the Night's Watch. Honestly, I am gutted. You're right. It was never going to be what we wanted it to be, because episode 1 and 2, 1 wasn't the best, but it set it up really well.
I liked 1 a lot, because it was a really good first episode after two years away.
Yeah, 2 really, really was just more of a character development one before the big battles, and I thought that was great. You know, kind of, I was happy with that. Wanted to see more of that, but I mean, the third one I thought was brilliant until the end, where you realised, oh my god, there's so many unanswered questions.
Sorry about messing.
What are we going to do?
Like, the entire first 5 seasons set up so much content, and then season 6 and 7 was crushed that all down. 7 and 8 even into 3 or 4 plot threads that weren't too interesting, and then the threads that they've dropped every so often, they've all been the really good ones. Like, they dropped the Night King. He was literally just a spook man who wanted to kick at everyone. They dropped everything about Bran's warg. They dropped John's ability to warg. Arya, her face changing had no help whatsoever. Like, the last time she used it was when she killed the Frey family.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind that specific one, because she still uses her her fighting techniques and stuff. And ninja.
And she did sneak up to John and scare the shit out of him.
Yeah, like, so it's more. So I think that was more what they were aiming for. But I see what you mean. That face thing was a bit of a weird thing then to just like set up and then leave. But I mean,
like that's the kind of morbid part where you don't just like say, oh, she can do this and then never do it again. That's the kind of thing you explore.
Yeah.
Like being able to steal someone's face. That's like interesting. Show some more of that.
Yeah, I don't know. This show. So the start of this episode, the first half of this episode, even was quite good. I actually thought. I liked. I mean, besides the fact that Daenerys' army tripled in size, or if not more than that.
There were more soldiers now than there were at the battle for Winterfell against it on the undead.
Yeah, they just grew. They multiplied, but I didn't mind. It felt like, okay, shit went down in the last episode. It felt like that, and they were walking through, and she had a little speech to her army, and I was like, this is fine. This is setting her up, and I didn't even mind all the way up to the part when she died. It felt a bit. You said it earlier, anticlimactic.
Yeah, but felt to me really anticlimactic.
They tried to make it too much of a sad thing, like all the music and it just kind of pulled away from it a bit.
Well, I didn't mind it because it's a sad thing that character has gone there. It's been set up from the start. It's not always been delivered well on. Like it's not. There is. You can say it's been foreshadowed, but foreshadowing is not character development. But it has been foreshadowed, and a bit of character development in the first few seasons started to lead to it, and I understand why it's sad that she didn't become the person she wanted to be. She thinks she's doing it, but she's not. And then I didn't mind that. I thought it was a bit weird that the dragon didn't try and kill John. But again, whatever, I'm not too bothered.
Has John ever been burnt in the show?
No, I thought.
No.
I
Is
thought
he
that they might. I thought they might actually do that though. Like when Drogon comes down, I thought it'd be really cool to see Drogon burn him alive, and
he's fine.
It would be cool to see him burn Drogon burn him alive, and get the Iron Throne at the same time. The Iron Throne falls, but John's still standing there.
That would be cool.
I tell you what, as well, while he's burning, his hair could go white like a Targaryen. That would have been sick. I would have liked that. Like just kind of like that's the only thing that's affected by
get
it.
Covered in ash or something.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, he is Targaryen. But no, up until that point, fine. Yeah, good. I was. I mean, again, I knew I wasn't like this is amazing, but I was like this is fine. And then after that point, it just fell. It just went downhill.
It was actually quite a bit of a boring episode, I found.
It was just rubbish.
Yeah.
Like the second half of it was just rubbish. Like,
That's so much to close up that they just kind of swept everything under the rug.
Yeah.
Like choosing Bran as the king, they dismiss democracy and then immediately sort of Bran, and
Yeah.
so Dawn was an independent state for thousands of years, for longer than Winterfell was. So why didn't they speak up when Sansa said we're an independent state now?
I don't
That's
know.
a good point. Yeah.
I don't know. It was just weird. Actually, I take I take it back. Not the whole of the episode after that was bad. Like I said, I like Jon with Ghost, but the bit with Brienne when she's writing in the book with Jaime.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
That bit-
that was a good bit.
That was
yeah.
good. She loved him. She knew he was a good man at the heart of it, and she said she didn't write anything bad in that book. And I know you kind of can't, but also she had this heartbreak. But then she just wrote, he died protecting his
I
queen.
mean, she's a loyal and honourable knight.
She
And
is.
so was he. So
Yeah.
she led that to him.
Yeah, she had the perfect arc. I thought
Yeah.
if she had died at the Battle of Winterfell, that would have been fine. That would have been good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that they did this with her.
What did she bring after the Battle of Winterfell? Then bang in.
That was it until this. Where
So
Okay,
the only reason
yeah.
she didn't die was the bang.
essentially, but they completed her arc quite nicely.
I agree. I think I would have preferred it though if Jaime decided to either kill Cersei or and go back to Brienne, or just not go back and
'Cause they
just stay
could.
with Brienne.
He could have killed Cersei, and the rocks could still sort of fallen, and then everyone would think that they died to get together, but in reality, Jaime killed her, and even though we know he completed his arc, they might still think it's shit, and that would still be a good ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's just.
That's the thing. I just don't think they've done
And then-
the show justice.
The Lords, within a year's time, there's going to be war again.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
Stark in King's Landing. There's a Stark in the north. There's a Stark at
See.
the Wall.
Oh, at the wall. Sorry. Yeah.
So there's Starks all up and down the kingdom.
So it's
The Lords are
essentially a
not going to like
monarchy.
that. Yeah,
It's essentially like a ruling elite,
Yeah.
isn't it?
and the Lords aren't going to like that.
I
And
don't know.
then whose idea was it to make Bronn the master of coin? He's a assassin. He's a sellsword. What qualifications has he got other than
He likes money.
yeah?
He fucking. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That scene where
Went
they're
to
all
the
at the
house.
table, it was just ridiculous. It was.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really awkward.
It was so bad.
I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to do like a life goes on. The kingdom still needs to be run, and we're the new council. But I get the point of this. And I think it was just the writing, because it was acted quite well. I could see all those characters acting in that way.
Yeah, but the
Oh.
writing was pretty awful, to be
Yeah,
honest.
and they kept referring to themselves in the third person. I get they're new to those roles and whatever,
I
but
feel like it's
don't
like
be
a right proper thing to do, and all.
yeah,
taking
it
the
just
piss
felt
out
like
of
they
it.
were being dicks, and I was like, no. The acting in this episode is great. Like, I mean, they did the best with the second half of the script that they could, but Tyrion at the start where he pulls the bricks off of Jaime and Cersei, that was great.
Oh yeah.
And like at some bits in the conversation with Jon where they're a bit quiet, I was like, oh, why they? It feels a bit weird, but then they would be talking quiet. They're still talking about treason.
Yeah.
So it was great. It was really well acted. It just was the writing, and this is the thing I said yesterday to Comrade. I was like, because a lot of people are signing this petition to try and get it remade, which I think is a bit stupid, because just let it be. But I kind of get it now. But I was saying, just because this is going to be a bad episode doesn't mean it's a bad show. The show itself is a really good show,
Oh yeah.
but the ending is not a good ending.
We all can't kind of Breaking Bad's.
Yeah.
It was an amazing series all the way through, and a satisfying ending.
Yeah. See,
yeah, I can see why people had problems with Breaking Bad's ending. I can, but I don't think it was bad enough that it ruined the experience for me.
Breaking Bad is in my opinion the best show on TV.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's one of the best series ever created.
See, my opinion used to be Game of Thrones, and now I just don't know. I think it's probably Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Shall we
talk about Rick and Morty instead?
Actually,
hey, that
did you
it's
know?
coming out soon, isn't it?
And they're doing a D&D crossover. They're doing a D&D campaign with Rick and Morty.
Oh my god!
They've only announced it, but I'm really excited to see what that's all about.
Yeah, I think we should play that.
Yeah,
that'd be well good.
Anyway, we'll actually go back to Thrones.
Yeah,
yeah.
But that's my point. The show is great. I even would have taken it. I didn't really enjoy the last episode. I enjoyed how it looked, how the visuals were, the acting, all of that. I didn't really like the episode that much.
The feeling of shell shock when Arya's running through the streets was really good.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would take the show until there. I would take the show until halfway through this episode and be fine with it. It's just the ending is not satisfying at all.
Bran, why is Bran king?
He's not
and
good
the whole
for a king.
That's why I came down here.
No, it's not.
No,
you came down here to defeat the Night King.
Yeah.
You had no reason to become king.
Also, at what point did he know he was going to become king?
No, because this is the thing.
Probably as soon as he became the Three-Eyed Raven.
No, but the thing is, it's not been set up that he can read the future. He knows all the past. And he knows what's going on at the present. But
so he's a green seer.
Yeah.
And they have visions of futures.
Oh, do they?
So it's kind of like Doctor Strange, where he's a 14 million futures.
So Bran is Doctor Strange.
Yes.
That's how it is.
But
Doctor Strange is cooler.
Yeah.
Not
Doctor
boring.
Strange does things. Bran just sits there.
I prefer my theory of Bran is, well, not my theory, but the theory that Bran is the Night King, and the Night King has to attack Bran in God's Wood because that's where the Night King was created.
Yeah.
So when Bran wargs back, he goes back to try and find a way to defeat the Night King. He sees the children of the forest trying to create the Night King by plunging the obsidian dagger into his heart. So he wargs into the Night King's body, or the human that was the Night King. But it was foreshadowed earlier in the series that the further he goes and the more he dwells in the past, the harder it is to leave. So when warging back into the human Night King's body before he's back to get his heart plunged in, he tries to talk to the children of the forest. They ignore him. He gets stabbed, turns into the Night King while warged as the Night King. And then the current Night King knows that if a warg is killed while warged inside a creature, they're permanently inside that creature. So for the Night King to kill Bran would mean the Night King is permanent because he permanently has Bran's soul inside of him.
I mean, yeah, that would be really cool.
And then Bran is the Night King.
That would basically retcon the entire last half of the season.
And is that a bad thing?
No, it really isn't. I'm not gonna lie. I totally understand when people say you should give complete creative control to the creators and the writers and the directors because it's their vision.
But it's not. It's George R. Martin's vision. It's his boss.
I really don't want this to be how it ends.
No.
I know it is, but
they're creating a prequel series for the Children of the Night, and that's going to be
Children of the Night.
Children.
The Forest.
Children of the Forest. That's it.
Children of the Night.
And that's going to go, or it looks like it's going to go into the Night King's backstory. If it gives a satisfying night story to the Night King, so we can go in already knowing who the Night King is and what he wants to do, like going back into Game of Thrones, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Because as a complete package, the series would make sense up until the last few episodes.
Yeah.
Because the show has always been about the Night King and winter is coming
Yeah. See, I think
it's always been made that.
they did it the wrong way round. They should have gone for Cersei first in King's Landing, or have the Night King go straight past Winterfell, take King's Landing, come back up north, and then, because let's face it, Winterfell has got to be the place where you fight the Night King, but it shouldn't have been that battle first.
Yeah.
It, like, the whole 8 seasons were setting up to that, and then they didn't complete it right.
And then the issue with that that battle as well, there was, what was the first castle there they attacked?
Castle Black? Oh,
No.
The kid was there screeching.
Oh, that was the...
Swing home.
Umber.
Yeah, the Umbers.
I don't know where it is. But
Other than that castle and Winterfell, those were the only 2 places that ever knew of the White Walkers, like that they were actually a thing. Because that's the only 2 places they attacked. They destroyed the wall. There was no one in that castle. They attacked the Umber castle, killed everyone. They went straight to Winterfell. No one south of Winterfell knows that the war was a thing.
yeah.
So obviously they know because people told them, but are they really going to believe that?
No, you're not just going to believe someone saying, "Oh, an army of the dead came from the north."
Yeah.
It's like if we heard that,
they're dead now,
and we had no proof for it, we'd be like,
yeah.
"All right, okay, whatever."
That's like me coming over and saying, "Guys, there was a huge war against zombies, but it's okay because I killed them all and I can't provide you any proof of it."
Yeah, because
But trust me,
they've
trust
all
me,
disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have an issue with Daenerys being the big bad.
No,
I think
that
it's
was
been-
always going to be so.
I think it was
Yeah.
I think it was subtle enough to work. I agree. It was. They forced it to be the Night King is the big bad,
Yeah.
to look like that. But I don't mind that he wasn't. I would like to know more about him, and just like, because also the thing is as well, what makes a good villain is not, I am going to kill everything and that's it, which is basically what he was. But I believe that there is more to his story, but I think that'll be touched on in the books. But Daenerys was a good villain in a way, because she was always, think I'm right, I think I'm doing the good thing, like Thanos.
See,
2 good ways to write a villain. There's the xenomorph, this thing has to die because it's evil. And then there's the, I wish this guy wasn't right, and like, I don't want this guy to die, but he has to. And they had both.
See, while I agree, I did feel like Daenerys had been starting to go a bit off the rails all of season 7.
She always was going, which is really good.
Yeah, and like she slightly was showing it beforehand. It wasn't enough of a progression for her character to go from
if they had more
I
time
want to save people and I want to be loved by everyone and I want to do the right thing,
although
to switch and slaughter millions.
They did touch on that when they said we talk about she executed the slavers.
In Tyrion's speech in this, I know what you mean.
Saying like the more she wins, the more people tell her she wins, the more just she gets, and believes whatever she does is the right thing.
Yeah. See, I don't think it was enough to justify it though, because she did execute a lot of people, but she wasn't, like, she never executed civilians, like, ever, and she always wanted to protect the civilians.
Yeah, it was. Yes, I agree. What Tyrion said was correct. Like, it was very good justification, but you are right, because she was always looking out for those people, and like I still get that she is kind of twisted and whatever, but also it was just such a leap to go from I am liberating these people to I am destroying this whole city, burning kids, like melting their faces off, killing everyone that is innocent just because of one woman.
Yeah.
One woman that stands in a way.
I also don't think... Like, that's the thing. I wanted more justice for the people. Like, I know obviously justice doesn't always happen, but she just died and no one really gave a crap afterwards. Like,
I think that was just the only way. I agree, but at that point she is the most powerful person in the world.
Yeah.
How do you make her take this justice how do you deliver justice for all these people when she has every single bit of power without doing something small like that?
The Unsullied and the Dothraki were deathly loyal to her.
I know, but like, even afterwards, like I get that, but like even afterwards, no one mentions that she's died, apart from Grey Worm. Like, Grey Worm's like,
and then just kind of mention,
I'm really unhappy about this, but then everyone else is like, yeah, we can forget about it now.
And then when the other Carls died, the Dothrakis went into a rage and started pillaging and raping and murdering all the villagers around them. So why did the Dothraki in King's Landing, why were they just okay?
I mean, there wasn't a lot to, rape and pillage, I'm not going to lie.
They'd still go through and like slash up the survivors.
I suppose, yeah.
I don't know, it was just...
And then, if Yara was so mad that Dany had died, why didn't she demand in independence?
Yeah.
And if the Unsullied were going to leave, and the Grey Worm was the only one who was really like, I want justice for Jon, or like, I want Jon to die, they're going to leave. Who cares if he's north of the wall now?
Yeah, it's a bit... Yeah, that's the thing. They could have just brought him back after they'd left, or...
Yeah.
I get why they didn't, but also, like... Yeah, Yara just annoyed me. She was just like... I was like, shut up. She just burnt a million people to death.
I mean, Yara just wanted some lesbian action.
Yeah, to be fair.
See, I heard a really good theory. It was on YouTube. I can't remember who did it though. That's the only issue. But there was a really good theory about who would become king. And basically it was saying like it didn't think Jon would become king, and it didn't think Dany would become queen. It thought Tyrion would become king, mainly because he's been there all the time, apart from like this last season where he's been a bit stupid, which I don't think has done him justice, because he's such a clever character and he's always tried to protect people, like, as much as he can. And there's a theory that Tyrion becomes king, and not because he wants it, but because he doesn't want it. Like, he is the only person that really actually wants to do the best for people, but not want, like, kind of... Well, I suppose Jon, is one of those people as well. But let's face it, Jon has been a bit pathetic this season.
Yeah, he's had like 3 lines.
But I thought that would be really good. And at one point, when he goes... like, I can't remember who says it to Tyrion, but where he's like, who would you choose? And then he's like, oh, I suppose you want it. And Tyrion's like, no, I don't. And I thought at some point someone's going to go, well, why not? Like, Bran would have been such a good character to have gone, why not? Like, he's always protected people. He deserves it.
Yeah.
But then Bran sits there, and Tyrion's like, you don't want it, and Bran's like,
actually, I do.
Actually,
like,
I do.
I've seen the future, bro. Like, you don't need to argue.
Yeah.
I already know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it was just so unfitting for Bran to get it, and it was just, I would have liked Tyrion to have it. I mean, I didn't expect him to, I was thinking probably Jon, and I would have been okay with that. But Tyrion would make sense.
And then they've now got a system of voting in lords. Well, that's just going to create shadow governments.
Yeah,
it's literally how a state is created. Puppet states and everything.
They literally they laughed down democracy.
Yeah.
And at first, when I thought they were gonna go for Sam's idea, I was like, no, not because democracy isn't great. Democracy is great,
but not in Game of Thrones.
Not in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I wanted Jon to become king.
I don't want democracy in my dragons and swords show.
No, I want a good ruler, and that's it. A nice ruler that is a good, just
who deserves it.
Yeah, and so they will do the right thing, but they don't have to ask permission. But they just basically kind of went, right, no, democracy, no, we're going to do half democracy.
Yeah.
All the powerful people still get to choose, but it's choosing, not instead of just you are the king and then passing it down.
We're going to do democracy, but it's not for the good of the people, it's for the good of the lords.
It's essentially communism.
Yeah.
It's essentially how it works in China at the minute.
Pretty much.
It's just, it just kind of... It didn't feel fulfilling at all.
No, it was... This is the problem with this season. They keep trying to subvert expectations to the point where it's ruining the plot.
Yeah. They need, like, I seriously, again, don't mind the rest of the if they kept that the same, and then they just did this one quite basic and by the books of storytelling. Jon, king, and etc. I know I've said that like 3 times now, but it would have worked.
It would have.
Oh no, we're fine. Oh wait, we're back up.
Hey,
we dropped.
We're
offline. It says continuing, so
yeah.
And that's weird.
Stream is continuing. No, there's a red square on there.
Whoever's listening.